Hello, and it has been a while since I actually have done any type of video because actually I haven't been on vacation and I've actually had a lot of shit going on, and in like reasons to that is actually what I'm kind of going to be talking about here. So I'm actually going to be doing a story time while hatching eggs because I actually used to have this friend, and before I even start with this, I just want to give some warnings because it has things to do with mental health and just like stuff like that, and all of the people matter, every single person in this world, including me, even though I struggle, as I say in every single video. I'm like, oh yes, I have mental illnesses, because I do. And hello. And like, I just like to point it out, even in any sort of kind of way. And yes, so basically I have this friend who basically I met like about a year ago, and we were like pretty close, and we were like just chill, and we would hang out, and just like we would play Adopt Me together, we would play Murder Mystery together, we would play like all of those games together. And before that I've actually had like a lot of different type of trauma. I'm not going to get into that this time because that's not what this is about, but I did have trauma, and she knew, and she was apparently there for me, but in reality she actually wasn't. So I told her something big about my life, like probably, I'm not sure, probably like about a month after being friends, and I was like, I can trust you, even though I shouldn't have. I still trusted her, and I told her about self-harm and like a whole bunch of stuff like that because I was struggling in the moment. I still am, but not as bad because, or well, it does get bad sometimes, but I do have the help I need, which is great. But I told her about it, and she was all there for me, and it was amazing that she was there for me. But in reality she actually wasn't there for me. But we got into our first ever argument last year, like a few months after we met, and it was like a whole random thing. I didn't know we could sell carp. Anyways, sorry, not talking about Adopt Me here. Anyways, but we would yeah, so like we got into like our first ever argument about something random, and I basically can't remember what it was, but all I know is that she called me a fag, and which is like, anybody who's gay out there, I mean, I'm bisexual. Fag is not a nice word to say it, and if someone ever calls you that, just ignore them, because genuinely they're just mad because like, who are they? Right, exactly, they're nothing. So but like, she calls me that, she calls me really skinny because like I'm underweight, but like I've tried to gain weight and I genuinely can't. And like, she knows I have like the biggest insecurity of my body, and she still says stuff, and then she threatens to fight me, and then I was like, okay, go ahead, come at me, because like you're not gonna come at me. And so she just basically says, actually no, I have soccer I care about. And I'm like, okay bro, like you're just scared, like I'm sorry. And like, she'd call me names, and it wasn't really like, she didn't know anything about me except for the self-harm thing. And with her knowing that, I'm still very shocked that she would still say something like that to me, because like, what, saying something like that to someone who you were friends with, it's like, just shows that you like never cared about your friends. And so like, after a little while, like we just would like be rude to each other, like both of us, like including me. I would like say rude things to her, she would say rude things to me, and like it was like pretty bad. And then we kind of apologized to each other, and like we both became close again, as I honestly should have never got close to her, and I actually regret ever apologizing to her, and I wish that argument was the last, but it wasn't. So we became close again, and she like was not like, she acted like she was so close, and she acted like my friend, and we were like really close. We got closer than ever, and hung out. But then her mom was kind of crazy, and like not crazy like a I'm not sure what type of other crazy to think of as, because like there's really certain types of crazy that's outstand third crazy, but she was just crazy, and she would threaten me, and she would bully me, and it's just like I don't need that negativity around, or like to be around, especially because like I've already got stuff going on in my life, and I've already have like a shitty like base to my life, and like I'm not saying that in like a I need to like die kind of way, like it's like I know I shouldn't, I don't want to, I just struggle with the figure of my body, and I just like really hate every single bit of it. But that's kind of like everyone else is like, everyone's perfect in their own ways, and sometimes I have a hard time believing that, but then sometimes I do. But basically her mom would be rude to this other girl who I used to be friends with. I'm glad I'm not friends with her anymore, because she's we've only gotten to like that one argument recently-ish. No, it was not like recently, it was like a few months ago, but we got into that one argument, and I've never talked to her since, because like she we'll get to the point, because the one friend that this is about actually was involved. So basically we got into that like argument about her mom, and her mom was just crazy. But then it like was like a while since we like once again forgave each other, that I still regret. And so like she apparently like she was also struggling with like self-harm at the time, and I was like, okay, well, I don't want you to go down the same rabbit hole as me, and like I care about you, because please ignore my dog. I care about a lot of people, even if you've done shit to me or like thrown me in the fire. I'm not gonna leave you in the fire or whatever. Like, it's just like I care about people, and like I just like I don't know, I just like I do. I'm not sure why sometimes, because sometimes it tears me down, but I'm just like empathetic at the same time. And so she's just like, she struggles, and I'm there for her. Oh my gosh. Anyways, I'm there for her struggles, and I want to be there because like I cared. I really did. I did care. And she was like, what's it called?
Oh, hello, shopping here.
That was my brother. Anyways, but she was where was I? Right. She was like struggling. I'm struggling, so I'm gonna help you through the struggles, because I do really care. And so I'm there for her, I help her or whatever. And we get close, and then like there was this guy I really liked at the time, and I liked him for a while. I've liked him whenever I was like 7 years old, and he was like 7 or 8. Like, we both liked each other, but we never dated because like we were 7, 8, whatever. But I did like him, and so she goes behind my back, and she like basically likes him, and then the one friend I'm no longer friends with, she tells me, she's like, did you know that blah 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 is talking to blah blah blah? And I'm like, what? And I kind of flip out on her because she knows I liked him, and then she told me that she doesn't like him, that he's just like completely ugly and she just doesn't like him. So she goes after him. She's like, yeah, so what? You can't be mad over a boy. That's so stupid. I'm like, okay, wait, yes, I can, because you're literally my best friend. Like, why are you doing this to me? Like, you don't know how bad that hurts. So that hurts. And I block her because she's arguing with me, and I'm in care that I don't need to be arguing with someone, because that's gonna make me feel like absolute shit. So I block her. And then she texts me on messages, and she's like, blocking me over a boy is kind of insane. And I'm like, just leave me alone. I'm not talking about this. So like, I block her again. And then I get into a fight with the other friend, because the other friend was hanging out with her, and I was just randomly texting her, just be like, blah, 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 what are you doing? How's your date? Kind of thing, asking questions. And she would leave me on open. I was like, why are you leaving me on open? And she was like, because I'm hanging out with Cheyenne. Oh shit, I just said her name. It's fine. She actually was in one of my videos probably, but she was like, I'm hanging out with Cheyenne. And I'm like, okay, well, you don't have to ignore me because of that. And she was like, okay, well, I'm just busy with her. And I'm like, okay, so like, since you're with someone who I'm like no longer friends with, I can just be like, I just don't exist. And she's like, that's not what I said at all. And I was like, okay, well, you basically thought it, because that's basically what you said. And she's like, no, that's not what I said, etc. And then we get into a fight because she's just like being dry, she's being bitchy, she's like arguing with me for no reason. And then she just randomly blocks me out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh, okay, so you just want to block me? I thought we were friends. And then like about 3-4 some days later, she texts me and she says, I'm sorry I blocked you. Shine was just being a bitch recently. I'm sorry, yada yada yada. And I say, okay, thanks, because I'm not accepting her apology. I never really liked her in the first place, and I'm just glad we're not friends. And I'm glad it's her fault that we're not friends instead of mine, and making me, oh my gosh, hi. Anyways, and making me feel like the piece of shit. So she she blocks me, whatever, and I'm like, okay, thanks. And she's like, do you accept my apology, ? And I'm like, I just leave her on open, because I'm not gonna straight up say no, because like, I guess that's rude. And so she's just like, she like, about a few hours later, she was like, did you know that Cheyenne and blah 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 are dating? And I'm like, what? And then some other girl that I cannot be friends with, she's so bad, she also texts me on Snapchat, and she's like, oh my gosh, did you hear that Cheyenne and blah 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 are dating? Like, oh my gosh, they're so cute together. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with all of you? Sorry, video cut off, my sister called me. Anyways, they make me feel like shit. So I can't hardly remember where I was at. Yes, that girl who texts me, she's like, you want proof they're dating? And then she sends me a photo of like her snap list and how he's at the top, pinned, heart, whatever. And so I'm like, what the actual hell is wrong with you? Like, you have issues, whatever. She probably does. And so like, she does that to me. Before I was like, I got into like an argument with her, the Cheyenne girl. I got into an argument with her, and she's like, oh yeah, I'm on your side, whatever. And I'm like, okay, then I guess we're gonna be like chill friends. And so she like fakes being my friend, and then she asked for to borrow my AirPod Pros because I have AirPod 4s, and I'm like, I'm gonna be nice, yeah, you can borrow them for like a little bit. And so she borrows them, and then she like completely switches up sides, and then she's like, you're not getting them back, too bad, bitch, or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, no, I tell my parents go up to her house and they get them back. So she's no longer in my life. I'm gonna kick her out of it. If she ever tries talking to me, she's gonna get the dirty look. And so she does that, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with all these people? And like, so they have all got me feel like many different feelings, like many, because with how bad my mental health was at the moment, they had me feeling like I wanted to die and stuff like that. And so I tried. And I know that obviously that shouldn't like be the like the answer to anything, because like it isn't. But I was like really struggling at the time, and so the Cheyenne girl, she goes on to my messages and she messages me through her email, and she says, and because like I started dating blah blah blah's ex, and so she texts me and she's like, I'm going to, like, she's like, you're dating blah blah blah, that's blah blah blah's ex, like, you're weird. And she calls me a slut, she calls me like a hoe, a whore, she calls me like all those words, like they're really rude words, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you, leave me alone. And then she's like, no, I'm gonna tell everyone in the school that you did this. And I'm like, that completely like cut me off, and I thought that my life would just be ruined at the moment, because like I was like, you're gonna just like tell people something that could possibly just like ruin my life, like spreading rumors, whatever. And so she's like, her and blah 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 gang up, and they like make accounts on TikTok where they're bullying me online. And it's just like, that really impacted me, because she's like, she posts a TikTok, she's like, POV, you're chopped, and puts bad clips of me. And I'm like, this bitch is really that fucking stupid, because like, how are you gonna say I'm chopped whenever you take clips of me? I'm not even trying to look good in the photo, so clearly you don't know what the meaning of chopped is, because obviously you clipped me, so obviously I'm not gonna look good, because like, I'm not trying to look good in those photos, so I don't know what the fuck you want me to do. So I like say shit like that to her, and then like months later, I just like was on the phone with one of my friends, and I was like, should I do something stupid? Should I like add Cheyenne and be like, and see if she's gonna say something rude to me or whatever? And then she like completely flat out apologized for everything, and I'm like, yeah, it's not gonna be that easy to like accept my apology, but we can be civil, we can be chill. And then we just have a streak, and then we go like slowly got closer, as I shouldn't have, because of what she did, which obviously we all make mistakes, but I've made many mistakes inside this entire friendship, and it's just like, I wish I could go back and change this, because genuinely she ruined my entire fucking life, like, genuinely. But it's okay, I'm still here, I'm still happy. But basically, she online bullies me, she makes threats towards me, and we were really close to like calling the cops on her and stuff, but we didn't, because I was just like, oh no, I don't really want to get them involved, because like I genuinely have a fear of cops and whatever. And so throughout that whole like months of her, like, no, whenever we became closer, she like, we were like talking, and she actually, this is when she did start talking to me about how she was struggling about like mentally and shit. And I was like, okay, I'm really sorry to hear that. I will want to be there for you, because like you're whatever. And so she we become closer again, and I help her through her like mental like problems, and I don't really regret doing that, because like I said, I'm empathetic and I really like to help people, because like even if you've done shit to me, I still want to help you, because I don't know why, I just like really like to help people, because I want to be there. And it's just like, I don't like to see people struggle no matter who you are. And so I try and help her and shit, and she like, we became actually close again. And then out of a random, she sleeps over my house, because we've been having sleepovers or whatever, and she destroyed my shit. She broke my squishies, my Neatos, and they're all destroyed, and she wiped it all over my furniture and towels and stuffed animals, and I'm like, what the hell is wrong with this bitch? And my cat slept in my room at that night. The cat that normally doesn't sleep in my room, but she slept in my room. And I'm like, Xena can't do this. My cat Xena cannot do this shit. This is a human being who did this. And so like I text her and I'm like, why would you destroy my shit? Like, I know you did. I know you know that I did. Like, I know that you did that. And she's like, yeah, whatever. So she like basically just proved that she did it. And so I end up getting new squishies on vacation, and she tells me to kill myself. And obviously, whoa, I almost knocked something down. Obviously, I'm not gonna do that. Nobody should do that, because your life is worth it. Your life is beautiful. You are all beautiful, and it's not worth the, like, it's just not worth it. And but she's made me relapse, but not as much, because like other people have made me relapse, but not really her, because I was like, I'm not gonna self-harm for her, because she's like totally a bitch, and I'm just not gonna do that. And she has like done so much shit to me, to the point I've lost a lot of trust in a lot of things, and she has destroyed me mentally. And honestly, that's how I discovered my 3 first fake friends. And I was like, what the hell is wrong with them? Because she's mental because of the shit she's done. She's cut my bathing suits, because she just doesn't have anything in her house, because her mom doesn't buy her anything. So I guess she's just like jealous, but like, I don't know. She's just like, I did nothing to her. I was a really good friend towards her, and she ended up doing that to me. And I'm just like, I'm looking back at it now, I'm like, I'm never gonna talk to this bitch again. She's got my anger through the roof. And yeah, so that's my story time. And I honestly really hope this does not happen to anyone else, because once someone breaks your trust the first time, do not go back to them again. I've made that mistake, and I regret making that mistake, and I wish I never made that mistake. So do me a favor, if someone is ever in your life and they're like really don't care about how you feel, or they're just like being a total bitch to you, I would say distance yourself, because that's the thing I really needed to do, and I did not learn until now. And honestly, that's my story time. And there's nothing much else I want to say except for that you matter. People love you. And oh my gosh, I hate camels. I'm sorry. People love you, and you matter. You matter. And things will get better as I'm sitting here, and I felt like I could finally talk about this, and things get better. And I know life is going to be hard sometimes, but yeah, it'll be okay. Bye, love you.